Welcome to the third edition of the Osasu Show Symposium, themed The 21st Century Woman and Her Role in National Development. You may all rise for the national anthem.
She needs no introduction, but I must give her an introduction. This is the woman of the hour. She is why we are here. She is why we're having a conversation this important. She is my boss and my mentor, Osasu.
Thank you, far too kind.
How are you doing?
Very well, I'm so excited. It's the third edition of the Osasu Show Symposium, and it's such an honor and a privilege to put this event together every single year, year in and year out, and just watching the amazing people that travel from far and near to come here and attend this. My best friend flew in from America just last night, and I was so surprised. I started crying, and so many people have told me they came in from London, people I don't even know. I just met them right now from Lagos, from Port Harcourt, from different parts of the country, just to participate in this event. So it's truly an honor to be able to do this for Nigeria, and I think it's also a motivation to everybody watching to also make sure that they take the step to advance our country. We all have an integral role to play, and the onus falls on we, the citizens, to make sure that Nigeria reaches the promised land.
Fantastic. Now, whatever you do, it always stands out. But I want to ask, how did you come about this particular topic? Why now? Why did you think this was the time to have a topic this big? And this is literally making a statement in Nigeria and even in Africa. So why now?
To be very honest with you, in the beginning of the year when I was praying about my goals and my vision for the year, I asked God to minister to me what to do, what this year was about. And he said it's the year of the woman. And I said, what does that even mean? So I was just doing my thing and I kept that in mind. But in February, my family and I experienced a very disastrous event. We lost my little brother and my cousin to a car accident. So my entire plans that I had for the year just went, left. But later on, he ministered to me again when I was planning this annual symposium, the year of the woman. And I said, okay, so we're going to make sure the theme is focused on women. I think God is really doing something for the female gender. I believe for this country to move forward, more women need to be empowered. I mean, we already constitute 50% of the national population. So imagine 50% empowered, 50%, being able to do more for the country and how far that would take us.
Thank you very much for your time. Always a pleasure having you. And no doubt this is a success. And this literally is breaking glass ceilings. And you have definitely set the tone for a revolution in Nigeria and Africa beyond. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ina Peters.
The boss behind Connected Development and the man championing Follow the Money. Mr. Hamza Lawa, good morning.
Good morning. It's great to be here.
Yeah, you follow the money to this place.
Well, there's no money to follow here. Rather, here is a place where we will talk about the role of women. And when you talk about money, interestingly, when you talk about money, women comes to mind because they're the managers of our economy everywhere. And we want to say that we have to put Nigeria back in the hands of women.
Fantastic. Now the theme is very, very interesting, and it's groundbreaking. The 21st century woman and her role in national development. In your own opinion, who is the 21st century woman?
It's a woman who is confident. It's a woman who would not accept the norm. It's a woman who would say that every child would go to school. It's a woman who would say that enough is enough. Nigeria has to move forward, and for Nigeria to move forward, we must play a central role.
Fantastic. Now, what are some of the hurdles? I mean, you work with women, so what are some of the lacunas you see in terms of men supporting women to achieve, that which they know women can achieve?
I think that for men, we need to start to look at women as partners and equal partners, because over time men have felt as if they're meant to rule over women or meant to suppress women. That is not the case, and that's not supposed to be it. Nigeria is where it is today because we have not allowed women to take the center stage and play their role effectively. So today is an opportunity for men to rethink and even reflect. Are we happy where we are today, and are we contented with the role women have played so far? Of course, the answer is no. And from this event, we would hear brilliant ideas on how we can ensure that women take their role in nation building.
All right, so I have with me on the red carpet another woman that is doing fantastically well, Anoni, founder, Air Women Foundation. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you so much, Ina. Good morning.
Who is a 21st century woman?
Very, very good question, Ina. A 21st century woman is somebody who has actually discovered herself. And when I mean discovered herself, has come to the understanding of who she really is and why she is here. Why are you here? Why did God send you here? So this 21st century woman knows her rights, knows that she has a right to vote, she has a right to add her voice, she has a right to lend her voice, she has a right to be intelligent, she has a right to participate in politics, she has a right to participate in every single thing that will affect her and those coming behind her. So 21st century woman is somebody who is aware of herself today and who is not ashamed to take on leadership positions, take on decision-making roles, and make a great impact in the nation today.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. This is a fine place to live it. I will see you in there. I mean, you're a panelist, so we can't wait to hear and learn from this mass bowl of wisdom you have stored up.
Oh, thank you so much, Ina. It's always lovely to see you.
Thank you.
You're doing an amazing job.
Your Excellency, the representative of the Senate President, our keynote speaker, my lords, spiritual and temporal, heads of ministries, agencies, and departments, Your Excellencies, the representatives of governors here present, let me also single out our panelists who have worked hard, who will be talking to us from their hearts later on, the mother of the convener, and the convener herself, Osasu Igbenedion, distinguished invited guests, students, women, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome. To begin this program, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, is to celebrate one woman, Osasu Igbenedion, who has added her voice, not as a shout, so as to be heard, but in her own way, to add women and girls everywhere, to embolden them so that their visions are realizable and they are viable and powerful in discerning that every change they get and every opportunity they get is what they truly deserve. I think we can put our hands together for this one woman who is doing well, very quietly, very silently, but hitting the right nail at the right point. Our focus today, as I hinted a little earlier, will be to speak about issues and to take major steps at perception change. We will speak about the opportunities and challenges that women face. We will also reflect and speak about power, but we shall not attempt to make the woman strong because we know she is already strong, but we shall be speaking about a new way to talk and discover strength. Well, Your Excellencies, we will need to quickly do something, and I've been told that the next item is a simple one. It's simple because our opening remarks will be done by two people. The first of them is an 11-year-old, and I looked through history and discovered that Cassidy Goldstein invented crayon holder when she was age 11. Ben Franklin was 11 when he invented the swim flippers, and there are about 20 other inventors who made life different and positive just when they were 11. So we've picked this 11-year-old girl to come over and just talk to us in an opening remarks. So distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, she's at year 8 at Startright School. Let's specially recognize Zipporah Egenege. Please put your hands together for her as she comes up. Can we clap for her, please? If you cannot remember where you were at age 11, you should clap more.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Zipporah Egenege, and I am 11 years old. I attend Startright School's Day Secondary. I am here to talk about the girl child. It might interest you to note that I'm the only girl child from a family of 7. Some of you might be wondering, she's just a girl. Well, I am a girl today, a woman in the near future. First of all, I would like to define the term girl child. The girl child is a biological female offspring from the birth to 18 years of age. This is the age before one becomes a young adult. During this period, the child is malleable, builds and develops her personality and character. She is very dependent on the significance of others, those on whom she models her behavior through observation, repetition, and imitation. Her physical, mental, social, spiritual, and emotional development starts and gets to the peak at the young adult stage. The girl child goes to school, helps with the housework, work in factories, make friends, care for elders and the younger family members, and prepares herself to take on the responsibilities of adulthood. Girls play multiple roles in the household, society, and the economy. Upholding the rights of the girl child has increased support through the global adoption of the Convention on the Rights of the Child, domesticated in Nigeria as the Child Rights Act of 2003. As well as through the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals target of increasing equality between girls' and boys' educational attainments. I have taken note of girls, now women, who are doing so well. They are consistently impacting lives. They are strong women in spheres of influence, doing their best to make the world a better place. Some of these women who, for me, are huge sources of inspiration include Mrs. Amaka Ndoma Egba, founder and director of Startright Schools, Miss Anuli Olaniyi, leadership and life skill coach and founder, Air Women Development, and of course, Chief Miss Osasu Benedian. And by the way, you look beautiful today. In line with the theme, the 21st century woman and her role in national development, you all will agree with the fact that women can effectively play a significant role in nation building. When she is educated, when women are educated, there is a greater chance of escaping poverty, leading healthier and more productive lives, and raising the standard of living children, families, and communities. As I round up, I would like to emphasize that more needs to be done in terms of ensuring freedom from all forms of discrimination against the girl child. Government and societies must do the needful if true freedom is to be won. Policies have been put in place. Promises have been made. Now it is time to put the words to action and make real progress. Thank you, Chief Miss Osasu Benedian, the convener of the Osasu Show Symposium, for the opportunity to share this speech. Once again, I am Zipporah Egenege from Startright School's Day Secondary. Thank you for listening.
The Senate President, Your Excellency Senate President, very ably represented. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Abia State, Your Excellencies, the Deputy Governors of other states, distinguished guest speakers, distinguished invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I wish to congratulate Ms. Osasu Benedian, who is also an INEC FCT ambassador, for her positive and commendable contribution towards inclusive governance and welfare of the citizens of Nigeria. Let me therefore use this opportunity to reiterate the Commission's commitment to gender mainstreaming in the electoral processes and the fundamental human rights of women to vote and be voted for in any election in this country. But let me emphasize that I believe that after this symposium, the role will also have special meanings, whereby women who are going to aspire for offices will not wait for slots. They will have to slog it out in order to be where they want to be. I urge you all to participate actively in this symposium and make further suggestions to guarantee the inclusion of women and other vulnerable groups in the sectors of government in this country. This symposium, this show, her role in order to ensure the positive contribution and roles played by women in Nigeria and internationally is a statement that it is not even now or today, but eventually it will be manifested, whereby the action of one person will be benefited by a large number of people. Presently, we have 84 million registered voters in Nigeria. This is 2019. 49% of the registered voters are women. In FCT, here we have 6 area councils, we have 6 chairmen, we have 6 deputy chairmen. In fact, we have almost 40 or so councillors. Only one woman was elected as a councillor. I believe that this symposium will expose women not to wait to be given a slot. Let them come out and fight. And also let them benefit from the action of Ms. Osasu of PDM for making a statement for women also to excel in this country. I thank you very much for listening to my noise. Thank you very much.
But ladies and gentlemen, the panel is constituted and our respondents know themselves, and in a few minutes we'll hear from them. So please put your hands together for both panels and respondents.
Thank you. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. So I am going to start with Ifoma. Great. So, we've been having a lot of conversations around what the role of women are, the girl child, all of these things. And we're also trying to talk about science, technology, education, and maths. But for me, the question is, and I hope you can give us some insight, is to what does that mean in a country where 10 million children are out of school? What does that mean when we don't sometimes say we have a curriculum that is not fit for purpose, that is not providing them with the skill sets to be able to deliver on this thing? And we know that right now everybody's saying STEM is the future. So what does that mean for a country like Nigeria? How would that lead to any kind of transformation for girls and also for boys?
Thank you for that question. I think I need to emphasize a part of the question that you just raised, which is girls and boys. At a policy level, we have to decide what we want to do as a country, whether we're going to continue to operate the way we're doing and not make education a priority, right? Or whether we want to actually declare a state of emergency in our educational system. And I'm happy that there are 2 executive governors here. My hope is that with them being here and understanding the statistics you just cited about 10 million children being out of school, this might just be the wake-up call we need, to continue to hear these numbers repeated over and over again. And then when you break it down, think about how many of those out-of-school children are girls, because, that's the other part of the statistics. Okay, so there you go. So more than half of them are girls. And then when you begin to break down those numbers, why are these numbers of girls not going to school? What are the barriers that are existing for them not to be able to go to school? Then maybe we can begin to design systems that can address those issues at a very grassroots level. I will make further interventions, but I don't want to take up too much time.
All right, so I'm going to ask Prof. the next question. So my question to you, since you work for a business school, I've always wanted to ask this question. is, how do we create a private sector that contributes to economic development in a way that doesn't continue to increase inequality, right? That doesn't continue to contribute to multidimensional poverty increasing, but actually contributes to people being able to live well and live good lives. So, big question.
An enabling environment, honestly speaking, because you find out that when government and the private sector partner towards meeting social goals, you see that there's an equitable relationship going on. You see that everyone knows their indicators and the stakeholders they're addressing. And then you find out that they're not in competition with one another. When private sector sees government as an adversary, then it begins to close its own borders and boundaries, and it begins to see that let me do this my way, let them do this their way. But what we found is that you can't do this alone. 60% of our population is youthful, and we need to put them to work. Otherwise, they're going to get into social vagrancies that we can't afford either. So poverty is a multidimensional scourge that has many different impacts, but it's not insurmountable if we deliberately seek to work at it, work with private sector, create an enabling environment, so we know we're doing this collaboratively, not competitively.
Your Excellencies, permit me to rely on the layers of recognitions established. I want to thank Osasu for this platform to be part of this great moment and great event. I actually came to learn. So I will say a few of the things we are doing and then make my commitments towards the things we will do going forward. We have a program sending 100 postgraduate students overseas on scholarship. It's not easy. The expenditure is going to be heavy, and we are reserving 50% of those slots for women or girls. And I hope that they will take it up, because you don't have to go to people's houses to ask them to take up scholarship. Absolutely. I hope they will have the enthusiasm to take this up and study the kind of courses we want them to study. We're interested in radiology, we're interested in chemical pathology, we're interested in all the kind of paramedical courses which we are presently deficient in. But I think that empowerment of women is a very, very important aspect of what we've been doing in Abia since the past 3 years, and there is probably need to do more. Nobody survives beyond the expectation or limit of the person who gives you, if you have to ask somebody. So to go beyond what men are prepared to offer, the women must stand toe to toe and say, we have the capacity to make it happen for women. And that is also dovetailing from the fact that the electoral space will become less violent, will become more transparent, the ground will become more level than it is now, and that is the kind of commitment we would expect the resident electoral commissioner to give to us, so that as women speak through the ballot, the results will be seen that women have spoken. Thank you very much.
Nigeria have not prospered. And if you look at our trajectory, all the people who have ruled us, not governed, we have never been governed. We have been ruled over the years, are men.
We are here now, but deep down in our minds as women, you agree with me that we are not very happy.
In Bayelsa, yes, we have a lot of women in appointive positions. It's much more fundamental when you support a woman to get elected.
The thing that can turn this around is education, education, education.
Leadership is not a man or a woman. Leadership is leadership.
Can we have a platform where these young girls can come in contact with their role model and they can begin to have linkages and they can learn from their successes and know how they deal with their challenges, and we can move forward from there?